In yesterday's video, I told you all that I thought there was a huge chance that the crypto market pulls back or dumps sometime in the short to midterm. Now, the primary reason why I made this video for you all was because of what we are seeing from a macro perspective with Bitcoin. What we've been tracking for the last month to month and a half is the fact that Bitcoin is currently in an ascending structure, and ascending structures have an over 90% chance of breaking to the downside, or in simplified terms, there is an over 90% chance that we see the Bitcoin price fall down out of this rising structure that we're in now. And so knowing that there's only 10% chance for Bitcoin to break to the upside here, I prepared you all in this video from yesterday just talking about, okay, I'm going to be doing this, this, and this. Most of that video was me just talking about my key levels of support and exactly where I'm going to be dollar cost averaging in under the circumstance in which the 90% probability does occur. Now, since that video, what we can see is that Bitcoin's price has given us a nice little bounce. And this is a moment of hope for those of you all who are hoping that Bitcoin does continue either into this channel or even break out of this channel. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm a Bitcoin bull and I do like taking profits. Don't get me wrong. But I do personally want Bitcoin's price to break to the downside of this channel because I don't want this upwards pressure on Bitcoin's price, which causes these move upwards to lose a lot of steam. What I would rather happen is Bitcoin to break down a little bit, let that channel run, give us a week or two, and then we can start making some movement upwards. And it's going to be much easier to do it. There's not going to be all this upward momentum, all this upward pressure from the structure. We can do it much more naturally and organically. And I think that's going to allow for a much more stable pump, which is what I want. I want longer opportunities to take profits, right? But one way or another, I don't really care what happens here. I'm just going to keep playing the game and doing what we got to do, right? But for those of you all, again, who all want to see Bitcoin's price continue upwards, either into this channel or break out of it, this was actually a pretty good sign for you. What you can see is that the bulls did come in over the last 24 hours and start establishing that support. They jumped in, they created this little double bottom down here. They pushed Bitcoin's price all the way up towards $110,000. And what I would actually say is that what happens after this move is probably going to determine what happens. I think if this move breaks and if it holds, or say if it fails to hold, there's a very decent chance that Bitcoin does come back to 106 and officially lose this ascending channel. I think that's a very reasonable assumption, especially considering a couple things. Thing number one is that if you head down to these 30-minute charts that I'm on right now, you can quite clearly see momentum being lost. So you see how the RSI is going down and then Bitcoin's price is trending upwards. Remember, that is a loss of momentum, therefore a loss of strength. And it makes it extremely likely that this move is not going to be able to maintain unless it gets some sort of just catalyst-based God candle on the 30-minute charts here straight upwards. In addition to that, what you have to also consider is that it's losing strength as it's running now into this micro golden zone right between $109,000 and $110,000. We are now at the golden zone, and that is the level in which Bitcoin did officially start losing strength. That is no surprise. That is because this is the strongest level of resistance on any chart that there is. And so when you factor in the fact that we're now at this big point of resistance, the bears are stepping in and pushing the price down. Bitcoin is losing momentum as we're getting up here. Again, there's a very good chance that if we get rejected here, we might officially lose this ascending channel to the downside and first and foremost come back towards 106, and then secondly maybe start hunting as low as 102,000 to start smashing through some of these liquidations to the downside. Because I mean, just imagine if we just do go to $102,000, we're looking at over $9 billion worth of possible liquidations. I think that's going to be really juicy for the whales, and I think they're going to want that to happen. And so I'm watching very closely what happens here. On the flip side, though, if the bulls can step in and really give us a lot of momentum and strength, I think breaking this golden zone would imply that Bitcoin's probably going to try to make another run. I would say probably equal to the all-time high or just slightly above it. Anywhere from 112 to 113 is where I would have the goal of taking even more profits off the table to kind of add to our Bitcoin bubble sheet. Because don't forget, guys, we've been taking a lot of profit off the table. If you go look at our buy-sell bubble sheet, all of these red bubbles are where we've been taking profits at. So you can see we've been constantly taking profits as this thing has been climbing. And if we can get up towards 112 to 113, I'm going to continue to do that again. And I'm going to take another good piece of profit out of my entire position. Because again, I do think that this move is going to last forever. And the last mistakes that I've made in the last couple bull markets here in crypto has been not taking profits enough. So even if I have to overcorrect and take too much profits this time, it is what it is. Although I don't particularly think I'm taking too much, to be honest with you. But that's my plan and that's my strategy. I'm just watching this golden zone today. If we get rejected, we're coming back down. We're very likely going to start interacting with this ascending level of support. We very well might lose it. If we break this golden zone, I think it opens the door to say 112 to 113. I see no reason as to why that can't happen. There is a world in which it also pumps to 115. I think 115 is a strong psychological level, and it is a Fibonacci extension here. So I think that pushing up towards that 1.618 extension is possible. It will just be a little bit hard, especially if we don't have good news. Now, if we have good news, something comes out the White House, yeah, we might definitely definitely head up there. But again, we're still in the same predicament. We're still going to be in this ascending channel at any given point, likely going to pull back towards the downside. Because again, remember, there's only a 10% chance that this breaks out. Now, it's funny because, you know, and I want to keep just touching on that point that it's a 10% chance that it breaks out, because I'm not saying that I don't think it's going to break out. I'm not saying that I don't want it to break out, or really any of these things particularly. But what I am saying is that there is a less than 10% chance that we do break out. Because earlier this morning, someone put in the comments, you know, I try not to read them, but it does get funny sometimes. Someone said, LOL, you said we would dump. Now we're back at 110. You're dumb. And I'm like, dude, did you not watch the video? Listen, my whole point of what I'm saying here is that we're in an ascending channel that has an over 90% chance of breaking out at some point to the downside. And so all I'm doing is preparing for that. I don't particularly care how this goes, right? And so that's kind of where we are with this bad boy, okay? Watch this golden zone. Draw out your golden zone today. Look, let me show you exactly how to draw out your golden zone so you can do this while I'm traveling. Because again, I'm not going to probably have another video out till tomorrow. What you're going to do, get your fib retracement tool, go in, click at that high right around 112, let's call it, and then let's bring this down all the way down to 106,736. Then what you're going to do is click the settings button, and you're going to copy these settings right here. Make sure that fib levels based on log scale is turned on, and then make sure your chart setting down here is turned to logarithmic, okay? And this is what you're going to have, and you're going to see this gold setting, or this gold zone right here. Watch it like a hawk, because this is where the big decision gets made today, and that's of course extremely important for us, okay? So keep an eye on it. One thing I did want to tell you guys, kind of just to show off some of our community members, is that, guys, the school has been jumping. I mean, just over the last 24 hours while this market's been all weird, I just wanted to kind of flex some of these members. We're coming good VB, a street drug named Desire, smashing the gains, D.I. Bentzman smashing the gains, Killer Keith, Zelda. Shout out to all you guys. I mean, the community's been going absolutely nuts, just profiting over and over and over and over again. I mean, guys, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars every week in gains that we've been seeing here. And so if you do want to join the community where you can see what I'm doing, what many of our coaches are doing, other creators are doing, we have a pro team who posts their signals every single day. They're smashing it. Their trades have a freaking 94% win rate or 94% profit return rate this year. I mean, it's just been absolutely nuts. If you want to join the school, the link is down below. Start learning today. And guys, if you are traders yourselves, don't forget you can go get that 10% bonus over on BTCC. They're going to give up to $10,000 per user and 40% lower trading fees. Any of you who know trading know that is an insane deal, and it's something that you should take advantage of down below. Okay, so I'll try to keep the videos going for you guys. As you know, I have been traveling, so I've been making a lot more of them on the go. So if you have been enjoying them, please do let me know down in the comment section below. It is, of course, kind of hard trying to balance, like, is it worth making a video if the quality is going to be bad? But hopefully you guys do enjoy the value that I bring to the videos, and you do enjoy them. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to be traveling again today, so probably no more videos for another 24 hours or so. So stay tuned for that. And I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.